Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are competing here in Roseburg, Oregon at the Roseburg Indoor. This is the 2025 War in the Woods finale, and the winner is going to be walking out of this place with $5,000. So just to give you a look at things here before we begin the final night of the War in the Woods, down here kind of walking on the racetrack. Tonight's format is simple. They basically took the two prelims, they locked in 4 from Thursday, 4 from Friday. They got to run qualifiers from the additional cars in all classes that are not locked in, and then that'll set up the A-main lineups. We also have dashes for the locked in cars, but that'll set up the A-mains, the B-mains, and the entire soup. Whether it's an outlaw kart race or a sprint car race, I'm always walking up early in the night and kind of judging the racetrack and how does it look like it's prepped compared to, previous nights. And then also trying to factor in, how many laps are going to be on the track tonight. Is it going to be more? Is it going to be less? What's the weather like? Is it raining? Is it cold? Is it warm? All those factors make a huge difference. And so what I noticed tonight now, it's the third night of racing on the weekend, and the racetrack's not super wet, so I'm assuming it's probably not going to hold a lot of moisture, and it's probably going to slicken off faster than any of the nights so far. And you got to think of all the races they ran this season, so it's probably going to go away quick. Now, all of these are just educated guesses, you would say, but as a racer, or if you're involved with the setup on your car, if you're a crew chief, crew member, it's all good stuff to look at ahead of time, just to kind of have your head in the game and know what situation you're dealing with. We're down here on the other end, so that's 3 and 4 down there. This is 1 and 2. Racetrack looks very, very similar. We'll definitely have to see how this all plays out. I'm excited with us winning the Thursday prelim. We are now locked into the dash, so we're going to have a redraw. I still got to find out how that's all going to work, but we're going to be starting up front in the A-main event. We're going to get that dash. We're going to get some hot laps, so a few final opportunities for us to work on our race car. But man, I'm feeling ready. I want to walk out of this place with $5,000. That'd be a great payday for our team and Factory QRC. Well, we just got a chance to make a few laps in the 18T just to kind of shake things down before we now roll into the dash redraw. So here's kind of what they're doing. We have the top 4 finishers, and the top 4 finishers from the 2 nights, that totals 8, and then we're going to draw 1 through 8 for the starting positions for the 11-lap dash, and how we finish in that dash will set, the top 8 for tonight's 50-lap finale. So we are going to be up first to draw. I kind of wish that with the format, they would have given an advantage to us guys that locked in the first night, like maybe we draw 1 through 4, and then the next cars draw 5 through 8, but I think they're kind of doing one big ordeal. No matter what though, just gotta, draw whatever we draw, and then if we start in the back of the dash, gotta move forward. If we start up front, set a pace, control the race, put ourselves in position for that 50 lapper later on. That's a long race, and obviously anybody in the field can win, but it would be nice to have the track position. Now the track though is kind of heading in the direction that we talked about earlier. It's pretty hard, starting to slicken off, kind of get dirty. There's that layer of dust on top, so it's crucial. If you run the bottom, you gotta hit it. If you run the top, you gotta kind of keep it clean, but you're not just up there flat-footed. You got to have pretty good throttle control and keep your car underneath you, and just keep moving straight, not too sideways. But we're gonna go draw in a little bit. Wish me luck. Hopefully we're kind of 1 through 4 and keep things up front with the 18T and set ourselves up to have a really good finale here, chasing $5,000.
Our prelim night winners. We'll wait for Casey McLean to get in line. Tanner Holmes, winner Thursday night in the Factory QRC 18T, is going to reach in and draw. It is a 7. 4th row inside for the 18T.
having to work for our money tonight. Went out there for the redraw. I was nervous that, you know, there was the possibility of drawing a 7 or an 8, just because all the pills were in the bag, and I drew the 7, which is arguably, you know, one of the, let's just say it's not the spot you would choose to start out of all 8 cars. 8th is better than 7th, but I was hoping at least have something in the top 6. But that's how it goes. That was kind of the hand that we were dealt there for the redraw. Started 7th, didn't make any progress early. Actually had a blessing in disguise. I was kind of trying to work the bottom and see if I could just sneak by cars as they were kind of missing it those first couple of laps, and car spun out in front of me, so we had a restart. I went back to, you know, 8th, got to be on the outside, and then was able to kind of just stack everyone back up. Ran the top a little bit, wasn't able to make any ground up there, but once I got to the bottom and got clean of some guys as they were racing each other, I jumped right from 6th to 3rd there in the last 3 laps. And a lot of it is guys just weren't able to stick it, but I could get my car kind of backed in. I had good right rear grip, get in the corner, like enough side bite to where I could, you know, have a little bit of angle and then just drive off straight and make up a ton of time down the straightaway. So we'll see what the racetrack ends up looking like. They're definitely gonna have to do a little bit of prep. Right now the bottom is kind of dominant just because it's so clean down there and it's hard to make speed because there's nothing to hold you on the high side. But glad that we made up some ground. You know, like I said, not that you can't win a 50 lapper from 6th, 7th, or 8th, but I'd much rather start closer to the front. It's a little easier to control the race, even if you're not necessarily leading. It's easier to do it from up there than, you know, to play a little bit of catch up. But we have a lot of laps ahead of us and we still have more races to go. So feeling really good about where the 18T is at. Well, we're about to roll out. It's showtime. 50 laps here inside the Roseburg Indoor. We got a long race ahead of us, and that's what you kind of as a driver have to remind yourself. It's almost 2 separate A main events. You have 25, you race to the fuel stop or somewhere in that area, and then you have another 25. So you're gonna have a chance to make your car better, and the track's also gonna go through changes. We're gonna see it, you know, they've kind of been messing with the track a little bit. The bottom's been really good, so I think that's kind of probably where we're putting our focus, but might have to use the high side to move forward, or the top could be good. They might work it here before this A. So we just kind of have to go into it with an open mind, but I've been really happy with my car, and not even just saying that, like we went forward in the dash, we were fast on our prelim, like things are shaking out where we're now close to the front. We can kind of just stay in the hunt early, and we have enough time to kind of pick things apart and try to, you know, whether it's early on, whether it's at the halfway, whether it's after, to get to the lead and, you know, wait for that opportunity or make it happen. We're ready to go. Just made the final changes to the 18T. We've worked hard all weekend. We put ourselves in position. Now we just got to go give it 110%, and the outcome is going to be the outcome. But proud of QRC. You know, it's been a weekend where we haven't had Jimmy here. He was originally going to come up later in the weekend. They've had some chaos down in Red Bluff, so you know, I've had some great help with Derek and some others, so we're just making the most of it, and like I said, going to go run the best 50 laps that we can, try to take down the war in the woods. So that was not how we wanted our A main event to start. Kind of got pitched sideways there, getting in the corner, because I was anticipating the 21 was going to go to the top, and then he kind of came to the bottom, which he was ahead of me. I just didn't get slowed up in time, and then at the same time as I was getting sideways, I got hooked, so then it spun me out, and then the whole field piled in. So yeah, that was not what we were looking to do on lap 2. So it's been a really rough race so far. We already have 2 spins on us, and we just not had things go our way, not been in the right spot at the right time. So we fast forward now to the halfway break. We decided to make a bunch of changes to the 18T, just anything to try to make the race car come alive. We don't feel like we're really firing off, our tires aren't getting hot, and we just don't have the left rear grip or drive that we need. So we changed that tire, we changed wheel spacing, we changed cross, we changed wing angle, adjusted air pressure, and now we're going back out for the second half to try to do anything and survive. That was the game plan, at least at the time, and sure enough, just like, you know, a couple laps into the next green flag run, being stuck in the back, this happened. All right, well, our main event ended early. We did not take down the War in the Woods. Pretty unfortunate. I don't even know where to start. Things didn't go good from the drop of the green. Guys got racing hard up front. I was kind of trying to bite my time, and you know, that first incident is kind of where things went downhill, and I feel like I take responsibility. I should have tried to slow down. I felt like I went to give a lot of brake, and I just, like, I don't know, I couldn't get my car slowed up enough, quick enough, as, you know, those guys kind of dove to the bottom, and then I think I would have saved it, but maybe I got tagged from behind. Then from there, I ran my way back up into 5th, and got together with another car. You know, I was kind of trying to get back to the bottom, and they were there or they weren't there. You know, like I said, I don't know. It just got spun out, and then went to the back and started working my way back up, and we made a change under the red because I just wasn't super happy with my car. I had to go to the back because we changed tires, and then guys, they went, like, the car in front of me just took off like before everyone else and wrecked, and then I wrecked because I just had nowhere to go. So it is what it is. Really frustrating, but like I said, there's nothing we can do about it now. I don't think our car was bad. We probably could have made we tried to go a direction that we thought was going to be good for the feature, and I think we just maybe went too far. I just didn't have enough grip early. That's kind of even what happened on that first incident, is I just had my right rear felt like it was driving so hard, and my left rear wasn't catching up to it, so my car was, you know, I was creating a lot of angle if I got sideways getting in the corner, and my left rear was just never catching up, never driving. So we made that change. You know, that's why we switched tires, because we just went to a softer left rear, and that helped. Then I had plenty of grip. Like I said, that harder left rear didn't end up being the way to go, especially with all the yellows. I mean, I don't even know how many yellows we've had, but it just, anyway, I don't know, I'm starting to rant. So frustrating. It is what it is. Obviously, there's always things we would do different, but I guess glad our car's in a decent piece, because it easily could not. But it just wasn't our night here in Roseburg, at the Roseburg Indoor, and we'll load it up in the trailer and call it there.